Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today we'll talk about inheritance. Inheritance in object-oriented programming. You know that we have three main pillars in object-oriented programming. The first one is encapsulation, second is inheritance, and then we have polymorphism. So today we'll be talking about inheritance. In C Sharp, it supports only single class inheritance. In other words, a class can inherit only single class. If you look at this example, we have a class A and the class B inherits class A, which means that whatever the class A has, the class B will have everything from the class A. So in other words, we can say that class A is a parent class B is a child class. So whatever the parent class has, the child class will have the same thing. Okay, so let's copy, and I'm gonna paste in my notepad. And if you see here, so I can save this one and I can compile the code. So cscinh.cs, and if you see, oh, it doesn't have the main program, so I have to compile it as a library. So I'm going to say /t target : library. So the target is library. So there you go. So now what I can do is I can see inh.dll. If you'll see that it is created, it created the DLL file. You see here. So this is successful. So in C Sharp, the C Sharp supports single class inheritance. Now we do have another thing, that C Sharp also support multi-level class inheritance, which means class B inherits everything from A and the class C inherits everything from class B, which means whatever the class B has, yani the code of class B and the code of class A, everything comes to the class C. So if I say here class C inherits class B, so this means that it will have everything from class B as well as class A. And by the way, only the instance variable and the instance method, they will be inherited, not the static method, not the static variable. Keep this thing in mind. So let me compile this one again. Now if you see, it compiled successfully, so which shows that okay, whatever the B has, the C will have everything. It means the code of B as well as the code of class A, instance method and instance variable of the classes will be inherited. Now we have an example. This example shows that inheritance helps you in reusing the code. You know, if we inherit this class, then in the child class, we don't have to write this code. This code will automatically, this instance variables and the instance method will automatically be the part of this class. So basically, without writing anything, we are having from this class. Similarly, we need the same code. So if I have to, for example, let me show you another example. So for example, this class is having here, we are having a class. Now, if I do not inherit this class, then what I'm going to do is I will be writing everything from the class employee to this one. Same thing. And now if I'm not inheriting this class from here, then I will be inheriting everything the same from the class employee to this one. Can you see that? Exactly same. I'm duplicating the code. So this inheritance avoid the duplication of the code. So imagine if I have like 100 classes, so I'll be duplicating all the 100 for all the 100 classes, the same code. So in this way, I have a class, I have the common code which every class needs. So what I can do is I can just inherit this class to those classes. So I don't have to duplicate this data. No, I have to delete it. I have to delete it. What I need, I can just create one class and then I can inherit that class into my code. There you go. So I can say inherit emp. For this one, I will say inherit emp employee. And by the way, this console is not there. So using system. So this is what we have, so we have to be, so this inheritance help in reusing this code, which code? Instance variable and instance method. That's it. Now we have this code that we can use to test these classes. Now I have static void main method. So what I'm going to do is I'll be having a full-time employee object x. Now this x will have this variable and all of this code. And similarly, when I create a part-time employee object y, this y will have this part and all of this. So let's save it, and now it is my program. So I can remove this part, the library part. Now it is my program. So I can say, okay, compile it. Okay, so there is a problem in the write command because we need a console before that. And similarly here we need a console dot, and that's it. So save it, and I can compile it again. There you go. I can run it, and you see, so I did not pass on any name. That is why it is giving me nothing. So what I can do is when I create this one, so I can say Tariq. We don't have the constructor, So what we have to do is when I create this object, I have to say x dot. Now full-time employee has only one thing, but because of this inheritance, we have first name and last name available in this one. So I'm going to say x dot first name is equal to Tariq, and then I'm going to say x dot last name is equal to Aziz. Okay, and similarly for y, I'm going to say y dot first name is equal to Ahmed, and the last name is Salman. Okay, compile it. Because of the inheritance, everything is available in the x object, and because of the inheritance, everything is available in the y object. Now we can just run it, and you see the x object has Tariq Aziz and the y object has Ahmed Salman. So that is how we used the inheritance. So in inheritance, child class is a specialization of the base class, because base class is a general class for all other classes to be inherited. But this one has a different code, the special code. So that is why we call child class is a specialization of a base class. Base class are automatically instantiated before the derived class. These base classes are automatically initialized or instantiated before the child class. You will see in the next example, inshallah. And secondly, parent class constructor executes before the child class constructor. This is also very interesting. Now we do have an example here. So what I can do is I can delete this part and I can say, okay, now we have a class A. This has an instance variable amount, and then it has a constructor. Okay, the constructor with one parameter. Then we have a class B that inherits class A. We do have an instance variable and then a constructor of class B. Now, this is a bit different. If you see here, before starting the constructor, we say colon base amount. So this base, basically we are calling the parent class constructor. The base is A, and because it has one parameter, so this is one parameter. So basically we are calling this constructor with the help of base command. So whatever the value of amount comes to the B, it goes to the A first. Okay, now I do have this class program. Let me remove it and go on the top. I can say using a small. Now we are passing 10, will go to the B. See the B constructor? So it will go here and then it will go to the A. You know what I can do? I can write a command here. I can say console.writeLine and I say, hey, I am in B. Okay, and similarly here what I'm gonna say is I can copy and paste. So in this one I'm gonna say, hey, I am in A, and let's see which method is printed, which write line statement is printed first, B or A. And let's try. So I can compile, and now I'm going to execute. Let me clear the screen and I can execute here. You see that it comes, hey, I am in A. So it means I did not created the A object, I just created the B object. But because A is B inherits A, and as per the rules, the A variables will be instantiated first and the constructor will be initialized first. The values will be initialized first. That is why when it comes up here, it goes to the base, that is A, and it goes with the parameter, that is 10, and initialize the value 10 and say, hey, I'm in A, so this is going to A first. Then it goes to the B constructor. So this was the inheritance, and that's it for today. Now you have to work on the class activity. So you have a bank account class, you have a variable balance is a type double, you have two constructors, one is default and other one is with one double amount with one variable, one parameter. Then you have three instance variable. So three instance methods and two constructors. So create a class bank account, and then what you have to do is you have to create another class, simple saving one class, that inherits the bank class. And this class does nothing, but you can so since it will inherit the bank class, so it will have everything whatever the bank account class has. So just simply use this class and compile it and test it. That's it for today. So kafara majlis, subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.